What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to yet another exclusive interview on the Winning Mentality YouTube channel. And today we are joined by another very, very special guest, another professional footballer, Mr. Neal Bishop. How are you, pal?
Yeah, very good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. We're all getting through lockdown in our different ways. This is one of mine and Adrian's ways of coping methods.
Yeah,
and talking to professional footballers is a very, very good way to get through it, to be honest with you. So if you didn't see last week's with Jacob Mellis, I do recommend it. It was very, very good. A former teammate of Neal's as well. So yeah, he's a good lad. So basically what we're going to be doing is doing pretty much the same as last time. We had my little section on pretty much Neal's general career, and Adrian's section on mainly Mansfield. And you've got something special for us lined up, Adrian.
Yeah, plenty of fans have obviously given their questions in, so I'll be taking them from the Mansfield groups and asking Neal a few questions.
Brilliant. So we'll begin at the beginning, Neal. You made the rise through non-league. How do you think that made an impact on you as a footballer?
It's obviously a lot different to how many people have become footballers, but it was something I wouldn't change, to be honest. Some of my happiest memories were non-league. And when I talk non-league, I'm saying like Sunday morning pub football was where I was playing. Like I say, I was having a Saturday night out. Literally when the Middlesbrough Academy got released, then just literally probably didn't play for about a year. I just lost all love. I think it probably hit me fairly hard because Middlesbrough was my boyhood club, supported them all my life, still support them now. But then, like I said, I just lost all love for it really, and then literally had to start again at ground zero, rock bottom. Like I say, Sunday league, Saturday afternoon, and just work my way back up through there. But like I say, some memories and people I played with back then are some of the best friends, and I've got to this day, and certainly some of the best memories I've got playing football back then. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different now, but it was enjoyable in a completely different way.
Yeah, and I did doing our little bit of statutory reading before the interview. I saw that you actually played a game with your brother and your dad in the same game. How was that for you? Yeah,
well, it was. That was for Birmingham Town, and it was a place called Tower. I mean, it's bleak up there at the best of times, and I think we were short players, and my dad was a good player in the local leagues, and my brother played for the likes of Whitby Town and Subbedimore. So he had another decent non-league career, and we were short. So obviously the manager rang us up and just asked me dad to pull on his boots, and it was strange. My dad and my brother were probably better than me that night, to be honest. I think we got a draw up at Towler. But yeah, again, like I say, football memories like that, and there was a little bit about it in the local paper. Like I say, memories like that, they do last a lifetime, and especially, and like I say, it's an unorthodox route that I took. But like I say, I certainly wouldn't change it. And like I say, I've got really, really fond memories of this.
Yeah, so we'll talk about you had spells at Scarborough in York City, and your first foray into the Football League world was with Barnet in 2007. Did you feel like a bit of a sense of achievement that you've made it into the top 4 tiers?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think I was 24, going up 25 in that start of that season. I think, realistically, you probably think that time's passed. Look, I had a steady job. I was working for a double glazing company. I had a house with my then girlfriend, my then partner. And you know what I mean? Life was okay. Life wasn't bad, but the opportunity come, moving away, obviously, from the northeast down to Barnet. It's not a commutable trip, but I just thought I had to take the chance. There was no guarantees it would be work. It was only a 1-year contract to start with, so it was a big risk. But no, look, I had to do it for my own sanity, to look at myself in the mirror, knowing that obviously I took the chance, and like I say, fortunately it worked out for me, and everyone was great to me down at Barnet. First time I've ever lived away from home. They looked after me really well. I get it, enjoyed my time down there.
Yeah, and then you had a good spell there, moved up the league to Notts County, a little bit close to home as well. Well, a little bit anyway. So you had a good enjoyable spell at Notts County, good lengthy spell there. We saw that you scored against Manchester City. How much was that a big feeling? Because they were just on the rise at the time, becoming one of the biggest clubs in the world. how was it to actually score and achieve like that against such a massive club like them?
Yeah, I mean, the whole day was a great occasion. It obviously was on the telly. I've never really watched the game back. Obviously, I've seen the goal a few times, but we were more than a match on that day. I think at Meadow Lane at the time, the pitch wasn't the greatest. It was obviously a leveller, but they had a really good team out there. Obviously, Mancini was manager. David Silva, you know what I mean? They had multi-million-pound players. I think it was Edin Dzeko's debut. I think he might have even scored or back there, but I think he got the equaliser. But it was unreal, to be honest. It was a great experience. And like I say, we should have held on. The goal we conceded was preventable, to be honest. So and if we'd have won that, I think that would have gone down in one of the all-time great FA Cup results. But it was fantastic, and obviously we got turned over at the Etihad replay. But again, to play at these grounds against these people, it's a fantastic experience. You can always learn something playing against the likes of PIERO, James Milner, Gareth Barry, just great players. And like you say, you play against them, you try and learn and take little bits from them. Even at my age, what I was in, probably mid to late 20s, you're always learning. Like I say, to play against people of that ilk was fantastic. And like I say, it was a great day for everyone.
So Adrian reliably informed me that you played in a friendly against Juventus.
Yeah.
How was that? Because you talk about playing against great players, but I tell you what, there were some crackers in that team.
Yeah, it was again. I just got a phone call of Martin Allen one afternoon when I'd gone home. He was managing Notts County at the time, and he started. You know the story about Martin Allen. He's a character at the best of times, and he said, and he started telling me the story. We asked to go to Juventus to open their stadium. I just thought, I don't know what I thought he'd been taking or whether he'd been. I was just taking it all with a bit of salt, to be honest, because he was going, we'll have to go there Thursday and miss a couple of days training, and we've got Walsall at home on Saturday, so we want to be ready for that. I'm thinking, but what do you think? And I went, yeah, and he just started laughing down the phone. He goes, of course we're going in, we've got this opportunity to go. Obviously, the connections of the shirts, Juventus took the shirt to Notts County, and it was brilliant. We got the 5-star treatment. Private jet took us over there. We got a tour of the stadium the day before, out on the pitch. The opening ceremony was like something of an Olympic Games, to be honest. It was all top notch, and then obviously to play against players like that again, just a phenomenal experience. Like I said, I was lucky enough to be captain at the time, so I went out and done this shirt exchange with Del Piero, and obviously I come off at half time. So did he. I think obviously we were giving everyone, which was right. Everyone had run out, and he gave me his shirt at half time, and I've still got it framed. I've not got it on the wall because we recently moved out, so I've not got it back up. But like I say, memories and stuff like that, stuff I'll tell certainly Oscar when he's older, and hopefully even the grandkids. Just an unbelievable experience, and really lucky to experience it.
Absolutely. The highest level you played at was with Blackpool in the Championship. Obviously, they were a team that had recently gone down, and then obviously had suffered financial troubles with the Oystons and stuff like that. How was that experience for you? Obviously, that I don't know if they were relegated that season or was it the season after. But
yeah, it was a season after. I think again, I've just come at the end of Notts County, and I think we'd had something like 8-9 managers in the 4 seasons I was there that just changed manager again, and I think they were starting to reduce the wage bill, and it just felt like obviously I was one of the higher earners, and I just said, look, it just felt like it was coming to a natural end. Although I had 1 more year in my contract, it's the only contract I've ever broke, to be honest. But it just felt like it was time for a change for me. I think it got a bit stale. I knew personally I wasn't playing as well as I could do in that season. I just felt like I needed a change, and I was open about it. I spoke to the chairman, to the chief exec, to the manager, leading up to the end of the season. Said, look, this is just the way I'm thinking. And I said, look, obviously I think I played plus 35 games in the 4 I hardly ever missed a game from them, so they were fine. I just said, look, yeah, you might be right. We can come to some arrangement. And I knew Blackpool were interested. Obviously, College was there. Sheffield United were in League One at the time. I had a chance to go there. But again, financially, I had a couple of moves into League One clubs that would have benefited me more than going to Blackpool. But again, it was just one of the things. The same with the band thing. I just thought I had to do it. to get a chance to play the Championship at 31, 32. Again, not many people do. And I had to go and do it. And again, it was all about, even at that age, just going up and proving myself at a new level. Obviously, I'm just a bit of pre-season because we're trying to sort out the contract, so I was playing catch-up anyway. But I got in the team, played, I started nearly 30 games that season. But, you know, I think and the start of the season, August, September, October, really good. I remember we beat Sheffield Wednesday at home, coming up to November. And we were in the top 3 or 4. It was the best, at the time, it was the best start of the season that Blackpool had ever had. So, I mean, things started to unravel after that. And obviously the Oystons is well documented about the things there. And Pauline's left and one or two things. But, you know, we finished on about 6th, 7th bottom at the time. But again, I played a lot of games and felt I proved myself at that level. The chairman, well, at the end of that season, they only wanted to offer us about five or six of us contracts, and the rest were leaving. But you sort of knew what was coming the following season. Obviously, they went down. I think they were terrible that season. But you sort of knew from being in the club the way it was going. It was only going one way. It was a hard decision. You know, you work on your career to get the Championship, and then ultimately, I was choosing to leave it and go to a League One club in Scunthorpe. But again, I'd been at that level. I know it was one season, but I felt I'd done all I could at Blackpool. Like you say, you knew the following season was just going to be a struggle, and you were going to be. It was an uphill struggle from minute one for him, to be honest. So again, I think that proved to be a fairly good decision.
Yeah, 2 more from me. One was that you had the opportunity to play for England C, which is not one that many have had back in your non-league days. How was that? And like to represent your country, I know it's a slightly smaller level, but like how was that for you?
Yeah, again, I come at my last season at York City. I'd had a fairly decent season. Sorry, we got the playoffs. Unfortunately, got beat in the playoffs. But then I got the call from the club saying they want you to. It was a 4 Nations tournament. They did just the home nations at the end of the season. And again, we were private jets up to. It was just outside Inverness we were based, and again, fantastic, just a whole new experience. Bonding with people you played against, just coming together in space of a week. It was really good, and we won it. I've got the caps, got the shirts, got the little memory books from it. And again, like I say, they're all boxed up and safe. But there's something, you know, when I look back in my career when it ends, it's proud memories. And like I say, that's probably the highest. Well, it is the highest level you can get to at non-league. So, you know, it was a perfect way to sign off to move in the Football League. That tournament was, and like I say, a fantastic experience again with great people.
Yeah, and finally, one thing that I think you said you played a lot of games in pretty much every single season that you've played. Do you think the fitness that you have has pretty much defined like the length of your career because you played so many games?
Yeah, like I say, touch wood, I've not had many injuries. I've had a couple of hernia operations, but apart from that, I've had nothing long term. Like I say, I've always prided myself on training every day, on being available for selection every weekend. And like I say, the older you get, the more you do realise that you've got to take better care of yourself, even in the outer season. I can't afford to seize up for 2 or 3 weeks, so I'll probably never get going again. So it's just knowing your own body. I think obviously the older you get, that helps. But like I say, I'm proud of my appearances record. Like I say, for the majority, or for all my career, I've played just about the majority of games. So it's something I'm proud of. Yeah, and like I say, touch wood, I've not had a lot of injuries. I've been lucky. I've been very lucky with I've avoided major injuries, which has allowed me to play as many games as I have.
So I'll pass it over to Mr. Adrian Keita, who has some questions from Mansfield fans, I believe.
Well, there's a few Mansfield groups that I've obviously posed a question to, and I've been given a few responses. I've got a question from Darren Shaw. The question is to you, Neil. What do you think went wrong at the start of the season, and why do you think you struggled for form?
I think what went wrong at the start. Look, I'm not one for pointing fingers or blaming people. I don't think that really gets you anywhere. It's always easy to be wise after the event. But at the time, I don't think pre-season was good enough. I don't think we were fit enough. We weren't in the right condition. I think there was still a hangover from the previous season. Maybe we didn't get enough fresh blood through the door to freshen it up, which I think we needed. And like I say, it was just, I don't think enough of the lads believed in in the project and in what was going on. And I think it showed in our performances, which weren't anywhere near good enough myself, as much as anyone. So it was, believe me, it was disappointing. But I had spoke to people about it at the time. I didn't think it was. It's not very often. Usually at the end of every pre-season session, you come home and you're flat. You get on the sofa, you're knackered. I can't my legs the next morning. You're dragging yourself out of bed. It just didn't feel like we were doing enough work. I was coming home and doing extra bits myself to try and get somewhere near. But you can only do so much on your own. You need that match sharpness. You need that competition of training with your teammates. So it was. I think that's the basis for any good season, for any good squad. You've got to work yourself to a maximum, to be on your maximum, to push yourself to the limits in pre-season. And I don't think that was in place this year. And I think, like I say, physically, mentally, we weren't right, and it's caught up with us, and it's cost us this season.
100%. And just going back to last season, I've got a question from Mark Yates, and he says, what do you think went wrong at the end of last season?
I wish I knew. We were, look, there's no doubt about it, we should have got promoted. We should have been in the top three, and we should be in League One now. Like I say, without blame, I don't want to blame anyone. That comes down to us as players. We had more than enough opportunities. I think when you look at it, if we'd have beat either Oldham, Stevenage or MK Dons, we would have been up. And that's 3 games that I think we lost all 3, which is unacceptable in the position we were in. I don't know whether it was pressure. The team changed around a little bit. Too many lads hit form or deep in the form at the wrong time. And obviously the manager paid the price for that at the end of the season. Obviously the playoffs. Again, we probably had after, I'd say, the second half of the game against Newport. Obviously I was injured, so I was watching it. We had enough chances in the extra time. Although we were probably lucky to be a 0-0 because they had plenty of chances in the first half, and then penalty shootouts, a lottery. So look, it's massively disappointing, and like I said, I think we felt the effects of it going on this season. I mean, like I say, it wasn't just one kick in the teeth; it was probably 3 or 4, and I don't think we really got that out of the system early enough, and I think that cost us. I really do, and like I say, it's a shame that the manager had to lose his job because he was a good man, and I really liked him. But you know, that's football. If you don't succeed at your goals, people are going to lose their jobs.
100%. Martin Yates would like to ask, would you like to be part of Stags' coaching staff when you retire?
I'm currently doing my badges after my UEFA B licence. I was meant to be going to Northern Ireland this summer to finish my A licence, which is obviously the advanced one. Obviously with the current situation, that's been put on hold now. But yeah, once I get that there, then I'm basically fully qualified. Obviously, you're going to pro licence, but that's only from certain select few. So it's something I'm certainly looking at. I don't know what the landscape's going to look like when this is all over. I think certainly clubs at our level will be cutting back on coaches and expenses and staff. So it's certainly all up in the air in the minute. But yeah, certainly for the last few years, it's something I've been working towards to get my badges. So when I finish playing, they're in place. And whether it's, I'd like to be for the Stags. You know, I've really enjoyed my time there. There's some good people there who deserve success, and I'd like to help them achieve that. But you know, whether it's going to be possible when all this is over, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely something I'd like to do.
Just linking on to the coaching bit, John Bodycoat asks, how much longer do you think you'll be able to keep on playing, and what are your plans when you hang up your boots?
I don't know. I've never set a time, or I've just always thought I'd know when it was right. Like I said, I thought at the start of this season, I just didn't feel right. I think that again, I maybe thought that was me. But like I said, the pre-season wasn't right, and the current manager come in and he gave us a mini pre-season. To be honest, it was very tough. But since he's come in, I felt a lot better. Distances in games and stuff, I felt stronger. We're doing nearly 3 sessions a day sometimes, or doing like a circuit in the morning, training, and gym in the afternoon. So it's been good. It's been tough, but it's been good. It's been what we've needed. If you'd come in earlier, the situation might be a lot different. But Yeah, I don't know. Well, look, I was going to wait till the end of the season to see how I felt. Again, everything's up in the air, unfortunately, at the minute, so we'll just have to play it by ear. But when I do eventually finish playing, then obviously coaching is a route I was wanting to go down.
100%. And Nathan and Paige Marples ask, do you think you'll be in the starting 11 next season?
I don't know. Again, I think that's probably one of the things I've always thrived on is competition for places, and maybe we didn't have enough of that throughout the whole squad this season. I think that's when you get the best out of each other. I said, when that gets the best out of me when you're looking over your shoulder and people pushing you day in, day out for your players, people are really fighting Monday to Friday and training to take that jersey off you. That inter-squad competition, I think every good team needs it, and I don't think we've had enough of that. I believe no one should be guaranteed a starting place wherever you are. You should have to fight and push and prove your value and your worth to the team. But look, I don't know. I don't know whether I'll still be here next season, whether I'll still be playing next season. So it's a question I can't really answer. But again, like I say, my aim is just to play as many games as possible as it always has been, and like I say, that's never changed and never will.
100%. Steve Stevens asks, who's the best player you have played with and why?
Best player I played with? Oh, that's a difficult one off the top of my head. Probably the one who went to the highest. I've played with, obviously, Kasper Schmeichel. He was at Notts County, fantastic goalkeeper. Matty Ritchie, who's went on to have a great career in the Premier League. Probably Lee Hughes, one of the best goal scorers I've played with. Just natural goal scorer. Barry Ferguson at Blackpool, fantastic midfielder. I was learning off him. Even when I was 31, 32, he's captain his country, captain Rangers, fantastic pro. He was a pleasure to play with. Tom Ince, and Ricardo Fuller, again, another good striker. Really good. And like I say, even at that age, you learn in training, you've got to get yourself right, because these lads, I wouldn't say they're not bastards, but they demand standards. And if you're not at them standards day in, day out, they'll let you know. It doesn't matter who you are. And like I say, even at that level, I think I took that with me when I left Blackpool, with Stonadge and Mansfield. Now, your standards day in, day out define who you are, define what you're going to do on Saturday, and need to be right. If they're not right, you're going to get nowhere. So, yeah, them are the names that spring to mind who are the best players, and certainly some of the best players I've had the pleasure to play with.
Les Kittle asks, does it bother you that some supporters are so negative about Mansfield players, you included, or does it bother about those that matter, so i.e. the manager?
I think I've let it go a bit. It did at the start, but that's life. There's negativity in not just football, in every walk of life, and the longer I've gone on, you're not going to please everyone. So it's the same at every football club. Same in my club, I support Middlesbrough, and I see stuff about Woodgate and the chairman, and it's part of life, and you've got to learn to just ride with it. I suppose it can get on your nerves, especially when things aren't going right, and like you say, you can react adversely at times. But it's part of life, and it's part of football. And like I say, you just need. I probably should take some of my own advice, but you just need at times just need to accept it. You're not going to say you ain't going to please everyone, you ain't going to make everyone happy, but as long as you're doing. You carrying out the job to your best ability, to your manager's instructions, helping your teammates, and if you can come off at the end of the pitch on a Saturday or Tuesday night, whenever that is, then you should be happy with your work.
Kerry and Alfie would like to congratulate you on being an NHS volunteer, and obviously that awful ordeal that happened to your mum. They'd like to say thank you and everything that you've done to the club. So that was quite nice.
No, I appreciate I appreciate all the comments about me. My mum. She's fine. She's grand. She's back at work. But like I say, I've seen all of her wishes, and like I say, I appreciate every single one of them.
Also, we've got a few questions from another Stags group. Let me get it up if I can. Josh Asoro Pickering asks, what kind of thing do you advise on youngsters to do?
And footballing wise, I just to stick with it. Look, you get knockbacks. you will. But just enjoy it. I certainly at the younger ages. My little boy's 7 now, and he's playing. It's about enjoyment. I see it. I take my little boy down to his local football team, and it's grassroots. But then so many people come up to you and want to know about this, want to know about that, asking about academies. And I just tell everyone, enjoy it. Just enjoy football. Get as many touches of the ball as possible. I think if you look at it in the more I've read it, the European clubs especially, it's just about touches of the football. Even if it's just kicking the ball against the wall, just learning how to control it, pass it, using different parts of foot, learning about your body. It's about enjoying it. At the end of the day, it's a sport, and it should be enjoyed. I think less than 5% actually become professional footballers in the top 4 tiers of the people who actually played. So don't be looking that far ahead. Just make sure they enjoy it, and like I say, that's the main thing for kids. I think if they're enjoying it, they'll learn more, and if they're learning more, then they'll progress quicker. So that's the only advice I'd give anyone.
Right, that's everything that I've got, Chris.
No problem.
I just want to have one last question because it just popped into my head when you mentioned Kasper Schmeichel at Notts County. Obviously, there was a situation that happened at Notts County. I didn't realise you were there at the time when they had Sven-Goran Eriksson come in and they had Sol Campbell and then Kasper Schmeichel. What happened there really? And because I'm still confused about it to this day.
Yeah, so am I. It was a takeover by a group of people with money that didn't exist really. I don't know. Again, the Football League, I don't know how on earth they managed to pass the fit and proper persons test. God only knows, because Sven arrived and then Sol Campbell arrived and there was rumours about Roberto Carlos coming down. It was unbelievable. Honestly, it was absolutely crazy. And that was in the summer I joined. Obviously, the manager got sacked. Charlie McPartland, great guy. I still speak to him now. He's top man. Then Sven's mate, Eric Backer, come in and he took over for a while. And then it just started to unravel. You knew stuff wasn't right. We were going to have millions of pounds and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And we'd come in on the morning and the butcher would be kicking off with the exception that he hasn't had the money for his meat for the week, or the milkman hadn't been paid. But it was strange times. And look, like I say, I think people thought money bought us a league that year. It didn't. I think, like I say, we had a group of about probably 15 players which played the majority of the games because, like I said, there was a transfer embargo got put on. Sven left. Steve Crottle come in, who's again a fantastic manager in my opinion. But it was just. I mean, Sol Campbell on the training pitch, just having it next year, and then we'd have a night out, and we'd be out with him, we'd be telling the stories. It was just strange times. But like I said, that was the year we won the title. It was fantastic, really, because it was talks of admin and not getting there. The lads kept the focus really well, and we had a fantastic group who just kept working and kept grafting, and eventually it paid off. But yes, it's a real season. Like I said, I don't really know the full story of it. How the club survived after that, I'll never know, because there must have been so much debt, and the people who were this Munro finance just didn't have a penny. It was crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to finish. What a story that is. Thank you very much, Neal, for joining us on Winning Mentality. We really do appreciate it. And
no problem.
Yeah, I'm sure Adrian must have absolutely enjoyed that, being a big Mansfield fan himself.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure.
No problem, mate. No problem.
And yeah, again, thank you very much, and we wish you the best of luck for everything you do as well. So that's enough for us at Winning Mentality. Thank you very much for watching. Check out our other previous interview with Jacob Mellis as well, and we will see you next time.